So hello everybody. So my name is Jiurn, but first I'd like to introduce our speakers today. Please, Jan.
Yeah, my name is Jan. I'm from Xverse, as Elizabeth already said. I am the CSO, but as you know, in startups we all wear a lot of hats, and so I mostly focus on the business side of things, also spending quite a lot of time on product because I'm pretty passionate about figuring out how we can build the best product out there.
Okay, Lorenzo from UniSat, and we're about to deliver more products and more BRC-20 modules in coming weeks, so stay tuned.
Hi everyone, it's Sherry from ICSV. I appreciate a lot to have me here. But actually, I'm leading a new product from my team. It's named Ordinals. So actually, I will bring more things later. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Thanh. I'm the founder of Coin Wallet. Coin Wallet, is a crypto wallet that will support 70 chains, and including Bitcoin as well, with 6.5 million users. I started Coin back in 2017. And I think recently we've been supporting Bitcoin for quite a long time, but with the recent developments, thanks to all amazing builders here, with Ordinals, BRC-20s, and a lot of amazing things, we do a lot of research on that, and we believe the future of Bitcoin is here, and then we're more than excited than ever about the future of Bitcoins and everything that we can build on top of that. And with all this kind of reason, we decided to spin out a new Bitcoin wallet that only, serving for, Bitcoin holders. And, that would be some amazing thing that we hope that we can contribute to the Bitcoin communities, and also helping introducing Bitcoin to a lot more people with all the experience that we have, when we acquired, millions of users at Coin98.
Well, thank you everybody. So first I'll also introduce myself. So like it says, my name is Jiurn. I'm an Ordinals educator. So basically, I make threads and I explain the new technologies being built on the Ordinal ecosystem. And I try to educate people as much as possible. And I also have a daily thread. I make daily thread every day where I make the recap of what happened in the last 24 hours in the Ordinal ecosystem, so that because I really think that if you're up to date with everything going on in the Ordinal ecosystem, you're so much more advantage to know what to just be educated in the space, and you know much more what's going on. But today we're here to focus.
Make sure you follow him, by the way.
Yeah. But today our main focus are the speakers, and I think and we are really lucky to have you guys. So thank you again to have come. And most of you here are founders, and for most of us that aren't founders, it's really hard to imagine where to start. I know you all have ambition, you all have so many ideas, but how do you do to pinpoint the idea that you really think are the most important to start with? Because I know you have so many ideas, but you need to start somewhere. You need to focus on some of you focus on user-friendly interface. Some of you focus more on the more detail and more rigorous the hard work. So please could you talk to me more about the ideas that you built and why did you choose to start with them?
Should I start? So yeah, I mean it's pretty loaded question, right?
Yeah.
Because I think in general Ordinals, it's a really new market, right? Ordinals didn't exist a year ago. Obviously, Casey has been working on it for much longer than that, but the adoption itself didn't really start until, let's say, early February this year. And so, when you're kind of in this new market, ultimately, the speed matters, right? You want to be quick to market. When you see this new kind of trend developing, you want to make sure that you can capture that momentum, because that's what really matters. Timing matters probably the most in startups. If you cannot be there, if you cannot capture that momentum, or keep capturing that momentum as you go, and find the right kind of trends to focus on, or even let's say the niches within the market to focus on, then it's pretty hard to succeed, I would say. So I think the timing matters a lot, and then ultimately, when you look at Bitcoin, I think from my point of view, yeah, the user experience just has to improve, right? I will give you one example. because I don't want to be monologuing for 10 minutes. But one example, when Ordinals just got started, the only wallet you could use was Sparrow Wallet, right? Yeah. And it's a great product. It has certain values that they follow, but first of all, the team doesn't really even didn't want to support Ordinals. They were kind of really against it. And it is so technical that only very few people could actually figure it out. And so without actually having much better user experience, we wouldn't be even here today. And so definitely the user experience specifically, simplifying it in Bitcoin ecosystem, that's really important.
So like timing and be like quick to release everything, that would be like your two main points.
Yeah, timing is important in startups in general. Yeah. And obviously on Ordinals, it's not different. But then, like to pinpoint one thing, in Bitcoin in general, it's known that the user experience just has to be elevated, and that's what we are all doing here.
I understand. What do you think, Lorenzo?
Actually, the most impressive part that attracted me initially is simplicity of the whole system. The Ordinals is really simple to understand for everyone to inscribe external values into inscriptions, which is really simple comparing to earlier concept like SegWit or Lightning Network. Most of them are complicated to understand. So I think it becomes a trend with a very good reason. And that's why we decided to work on it and provide more solutions. Everybody is complaining that UniSat is creating a lot of modules, a lot of components without a focus. That's Jiurn told me the most. And the answer is we treat UniSat as a system. Every components interact with each other systematically to enhance the overall competition of the system. That's what we want, and we are going to build more components in the future as a system.
Really interesting. Would you agree with them too, Sherry?
The idea is actually most of our team members are hardcore traders, but when they are trading, they really get into trouble because they are totally blind on their portfolio, how much they earn, how much they lose. They have know nothing about their P&L. So that's the common pain point of all the users, right? But that's not good news here. So here's our solution. We will provide the Ordinals, which is Ordinals OS, so its name is Ordinals. It's a very sleek dashboard, can show you everything about your assets. The nitty-gritty about the P&L, your position breakdowns, the recent price, your cost even. So you will be very clear about your assets, your portfolio, when to buy, when to sell, everything. You can move faster than others. So that's very efficient to do the trading here. So that's the basic idea we provide here. And besides, there's still a little help from our AI trading bot. It can fit in the latest news about your token, about the large orders, about the quick price moves. Okay, image this picture. If you see somebody throw off a big selling order in the market, what's your move? Maybe you will think, oh, maybe I can sell it faster. Otherwise, the price might fall, right? So that's the point of this trading point. Help you learn more than other and the fast move than either other. Thank you.
And thank you very much. What's your opinion, Thanh?
I'm probably the less experts on Bitcoin Ordinals here. With I'm learning from all these amazing guys as well. But I can tell from my experience with like Coin98, sometimes build when you're building like good UIs can be can easily to fix, and you can onboarding on really good designers. But sometimes you actually also come from performance, and also being a very good infra that you can really support all these kind of transactions. And then like a part of that is like something that we can we hope that we can contribute to this kind of innovation of Bitcoin is at Coin98 we're a 250 people teams, so we have a very strong team that doing even on customer support. So even at night 24/7 if people using the wallet and have some trouble with that, we still have the teams that really take care of that. So I would say that for me that's good be a part of the user experience. Like we might want to be involved, and for us, we want to be like one of the contributors to make things happen.
Well, thank you very much. But I found it really interesting how most of you have like different answers. Like Jan, you're like quick to market, timing, and you Thanh, you didn't even launch your wallet yet,
Yeah.
But you really took a lot of time to build it, Like for example, here UniSat launched in March, Xverse launched in February, and you plan on launching this month. Like how disadvantaged do you think you are compared to these two, for example?
So first of all, the way that we think about this is like initially for us, to decide to spin out a new wallet like this is a very big decisions on resource allocations. So when I think thanks to Jiurn and also like thanks to Lorenzo, like really working hard on this. And then with amazing communities, we have all these things together today. And then when we see all the traction happen, we decided to take a look more on that. So I would say initially there's a lot of like trends and a lot things and come and goes. So we want to make sure that this technology is it's a truly new technologies, and then it's gonna stick around. So we want to we are pretty conservative on this initially, and then after months of doing see things happen. And we go deep dive on the research. We know that we see amazing a possibility we can enable on Ordinals, and then that's and that moment we know that we have to be a part of that. And then after that, we also I think that to be very very clear, we don't see that the Bitcoin wallet by Coin98 will be something that going to compete with other guys. I would say that we're becoming, and this is our ethos on this as well. We want to become one of our contributors to make this thing and push this kind of innovation moving forward. There's a lot of things that we can even improve on this, and then that's compared to Ethereum developers community, where we don't have that much people, so we need to stay together and really working on it. I think on our expertise we can add a lot of domain expert on growing the users, building a good wallet, good infra for these people. But then I think we on the distribution side we also focus a lot on Asia. So there's a lot of other things that I think Lorenzo and also Jiurn are gonna do better than me. I'm keen to learn a lot from these guys as well. But yeah, we for Bitcoin wallet by Coin98, I want to build is a sub app, which is something that we really focus on. Being a Coin98, people that using the app gonna enable to do a lot of things. It's just another Ethereum, another wallet that everyone's using nowadays. And how can we introduce this thing to millions of people, make it super easy to understand, and then that would be something we want to focus at Coin98. It's over the last 7 years we spend a lot of time on optimize all this kind of processes. So I would love to contribute a part of it to Ordinals communities.
Well, I think you're right. Even though I said you were you all you launched your wallet after Lorenzo and Jan here, but we're still so early, So at the same time, I think you're not late at all. They have a bit of an advance, but you have such a strong team and big team. You also have your own advantages, So also at the end of the day, the goal is also for everybody to win, you're more your market share is maybe more in Asia and Jan and Lorenzo and in other parts. But the question here that I had for you four was I really think positivity is really important, in the space. Could you say something positive about your competitors? My question is more addressed to Jan and Lorenzo. Would love to have your takes. But if anybody has something to say, please.
Yeah, actually, this is something related to what Thanh just mentioned, or even you. I'm super happy to see more people coming in, right? Because that validates the space. And I don't know if you guys realize that, but I don't know how many wallets there are on Ethereum. Maybe, let me just randomly say maybe 30 wallets. We're gonna have double that. Bitcoin is twice as big as Ethereum, maybe even bigger than that. And so if we're actually going to succeed in this mission that, like people are actually going to be using ordinals, like for digital artifacts, for art, for any different kinds of like versions of NFTs as we know it today, like we're going to be more than double what Ethereum has done. I think obviously right now it's kind of hard to imagine because we're still at the very beginning. But when you just look at the numbers, like there's going to be so many more wallets coming in, and I think that's great because, I like positivity too. Not everyone is going to win. It's not possible, right?
Sure,
There's always going to be, certain niches, certain verticals that like certain, people are going to do better than others, but ultimately we need more people to like, coming in, building stuff. We can all learn from each other. We're already doing that, like we're open source, Lorenzo and UniSat are open source. And so like we can all learn from each other and ultimately the best product is going to win, so that's kind of like how it is. But, the positive thing, like I like to see everybody coming in, so welcome.
Thank you.
I totally agree with this. I'm not saying this because of the friendship, just because I have to say that all wallets have their own merits in them. And
Definitely.
Yep. It's just like we have many kinds of cars. We have many kinds of vehicles. You have to get a wallet to get you to your destination. Once by one type of wallet. And this time you can use UniSat. Next time you can use Xverse. It's okay. And any one of it will have its unique features for a specific destination. And it should grow into a much larger ecosystem for all wallets. I totally agree with this.
Very well, thank you very much, guys. Also, this question was more addressed to Sherry. Like, you don't have a wallet, by your company. So, like, what's the positive thing that you can offer to the Ordinals ecosystem and to the existing wallets?
Yeah, actually, we are providing not a basic tool. We are providing a full-on service to our users. Just like I mentioned, the Ordinals is an asset management platform and an AI trading bot. So the best feature, or I think the most practical feature is sleek dashboard, because it makes you very clear about your portfolio, just like I said. And I think because Ordinals is still in the early stage, like a baby stage. So sometimes some very basic function is missing. It's obviously because when you log on Binance, what we're going to do, you're gonna check everything about your asset, right? The PNL, what about the last price, or how much is the Bitcoin today? So that's the daily life of every trader, every user in Ordinals. But nowadays, I think this function is missing. So I think that's the best thing or the most practical thing, the service we can survive. We can serve to our users. Besides, I think as a trader, as a users in Ordinals, I really decide for a trading co-pilot, right? It helped me to point the direction in the market, help you know the latest trends, right? The buying power, the selling power. So that make sure you can move faster than others. Yeah, because every rules is times money, just like the Jiurn mentioned, because time matters a lot. So if you got latest news about the market things, you will make the smartest move than others. Then you can have the best opportunity to chase the best profits in this market. So it's all about to make money in audio. So we're all sitting here, listening here to learn how to make money in the audio land. So that's our point. Thank you.
Thank you. Very good insight. So my next question was like, we can all agree that UX and UI is really important, okay? And as consumers, we're used to so many different interfaces, and I would assume that as a founder, you really care about the psychological aspect of like your consumers. You try to guess, you try to take an educated guess on which features they want on your platform. So I was wondering, like, which approach did you take to build your platforms and why? That I think would be very interesting to know to everybody.
Yeah, I can maybe start. I mean, it's really about what you said, right? It's about the educating guests. Like, when I remember when we were there in February, because, I'm also the host of the Ordinal show, and, maybe many of you know Trevor Owens, who is my very good friend, and we're there actually together, early stages in Ordinals. He has, he hosted like hundreds of spaces. Some of them were like 10 hours plus, just like educating people about Ordinals. And when I was there with him in those spaces in the early stages, I was like, hey, like, this is crazy. Like, there's so many people interested in Ordinals, and, nobody's really building, like, let's say the wallet and this. And so, like, for us, it was really like the decision, like, hey, we're going to go all in right now because we have that gut feeling or that educated guess, like, hey, this could be really, really huge, right? And that's why we did it. And again, like, I'm not going to speak for Lorenzo here, but, like, I also feel that decision that they made to bet on BRC-20s, that was, like, very smart, because they got a lot of users and they got a lot of adoption thanks to that, because they decided pretty early on, they saw BRC-20s kind of taking off, but it wasn't really that huge thing, that huge wave of user base at the very beginning. But they said, okay, we're going to go all in. We're going to build the indexer. We're going to optimize stuff for BRC-20s. And that ultimately ended up being a very good decision, right? Did they know that this is going to be the thing? No, but they probably like had that feeling like, hey, like, we want to bet on this, right? So it's always about that educated guess. Like, you want to see the market, you want to talk to a couple users, but, you will never know for sure, right? So you will still have to give it a shot.
True. What do you think?
Actually, there are really hard decisions to make during that period. And I will give an example about how we make the decision process. To decide how to transfer BRC-20, there are two solutions. The first one is you just hide all details and provide a send button. If user clicks send, it will be sent without teaching the user to know you have to inscribe a transfer inscription. This is method one. And there are method two. You are going to show the details, visualize it, and specifically tell user you are going to inscribe. And we choose the second one. And we choose the first one, and then we choose the second one.
What is even more crazy? And I have to give it to Lorenzo, because what is even more crazy is that if you were there at the very beginning of Ordinals, every single person that was from the Ordicord or this, they were saying that BRC-20s, it's a garbage. Like, it's never gonna go anywhere. It doesn't make any sense technologically. It cannot scale, etc. And still, like, Lorenzo, they decided to double down, and it turned out pretty well for them. So, it's interesting, right? Like, that goes to the point that, like, you never know. Like, you have to sometimes, like, really take that bet. And even though if the market is maybe, or the influencers are telling you something, like, it doesn't mean that it's gonna be that way.
Always trust your guts, no?
Actually, early days of Bitcoin, there are many people saying that Bitcoin is rubbish.
It's glad to hear the real story here. Actually, yeah, because we are bringing up a new direction to the Ordinals right now. It's because we are bringing up a new solution. That's because we don't want to join the conflict or the competition between the wallets here. And besides, we want to bring some added value to the wallets here. So actually, what we provide is very basics, but I think if we make a little achievement here, we make it successful, so more and more people will follow us, because we are first one to bring up the asset management idea and bring the AI trading copilot idea here. So if we succeed, maybe more and more people will provide the similar solution and serve our users better. So that's our point. So that's our original ideas. Thank you.
Yeah, for us, I think like Ordinals is still the new technologies, and then even like our wallet is not coming out yet. But I think like rational, frankly speaking, it's all like startup is all about like iterating and like experiments, and then you have to listen to like the way that people use, and then based on the feedback you like improve your product. In this case, I think like the way that people if we want like a lot more people want to use like Ordinals and stuff, we like, and then like the way that people using Ordinal should be similar ways that people use other cryptos, and then we don't like how can we like onboarding first time users without like really training them, educating them about like using this new stuff. That could be the end game, and then like I think when that happens, I think we're ready to onboard millions of users to like this kind of ecosystem.
Hopefully you're right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of panel 5. Thank you very much for listening to us.
Thank you, guys.